Hola! Today we will be watching a video from a channel called Uncovering. The video is called Something Terrible is Happening in Portugal. This is the title. The thumbnail says Portugal is screwed, which is also very eloquent. I envied this thumbnail and I wish I could do thumbnails as appealing as this one. I don't know anything else about the channel. I don't know the name of the person making the videos. They are all videos containing data. Let's call it data. And there are maps and dramatic graphics and music and everything is very dramatic. Looks informative, but maybe it is not as informative as that. Before I start speaking in Portuguese, because this is a Portuguese learning channel, after all, remember? I will tell you that my Portuguese course is still available. You can join that. There is a link somewhere in the description and we will watch a short promo immediately after. And you can also like the video. That will be very nice. And you can join Patreon or become a YouTube channel member, and that really helps and you'll be really nice if you do that. If you don't do that, you can still be really nice, but at least like the video and comment, say something. Just it's free. Just click the thing or you can click up or down. It's engagement for the algorithm. It doesn't care. I prefer you like it, but if you dislike it and if you want to, go ahead. Want to learn Portuguese, or are you here just to look at the pet platypus? Then try this course. I made it. In it, I explain the basics of the language and also the really complicated things, like when to use the imperfect instead of the perfect, the difference between para and por, or the 700 different meanings of the verb ficar. I also included more things for you, like a section to improve your comprehension with text to read, audio to listen to, or videos to watch. Tired of courses that copy school textbooks, pretend they are Duolingo, or are just overpriced ego trips for their authors? Give this one a go! It's full of clear and straight to the point explanations of how the language works, with lots of audio examples. And every subscription gets a free Ronaldo bust. Join now! Por favor.
In October of 2022, the Portuguese government made an announcement that they were now offering something called a digital nomad visa. This visa allowed people who were working completely remote to move to Portugal and live here for longer than what a typical vacation visa would allow. Remote work was at an all-time high in 2022, given the COVID pandemic moved many jobs to be fully online. This visa was relatively easy to qualify for and was enticing for many foreigners who wanted to live in what they viewed as a tropical paradise. Portugal has
Isto diz tropical paradise. Tropical? Portugal? Portugal é tropical? Um paraíso? Claro. Claro que Portugal é um paraíso. Toda a gente sabe que Portugal é um paraíso. Mas tropical? Na Europa?
beautiful cities with rich history like Porto and its capital Lisbon, as well as some of the best beaches and surfing in the world off the coasts of towns like Nazaré and Peniche. The weather never gets too cold and there's sunshine almost year-round. Not to mention, the cost of living is very low, 44% cheaper than London and 58% cheaper than New York, two cities where many of these digital nomads are moving from. From the scenery, to the culture, to the weather, and even to the low cost of living, from an outsider's perspective, Portugal seems like the perfect place to live. But behind the scenes of this tropical paradise is actually an absolute economic disaster. Portugal is slowly dying as a country.
Hã? Eu não sabia disto, eu não fui informado. Para começar, acho que devia ter sido informado de que a fronteira de Portugal está em chamas. Isto é informação importante, isto devia dizer-se nas notícias. Nós normalmente temos incêndios no verão, infelizmente temos muitos incêndios, demasiados incêndios. Mas este incêndio, que corresponde exatamente à fronteira de Portugal, é muito preocupante. Especialmente na fronteira com o mar. É sempre muito preocupante quando partes do país que estão em contacto direto com a água estão a arder. E o resto da fronteira também é uma preocupação para a Espanha, porque pode alastrar até à fronteira com a França.
The numbers don't lie. Portugal ranks second to last in the whole European Union in terms of GDP per capita, only beating Greece.
Yassas pedia.
To make matters worse, from 2019 to 2024, the median home price has jumped 50%, making it extremely difficult for lower class and even middle class workers to afford rent or buy a home. The average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Portugal is now standing at 1,200 euros a month, which equates to 1,330 US dollars. Given the fact that the average monthly salary in Portugal is just 1,833 euros a month, the average Portuguese worker would have to give up well over half of their salary just to afford a one-bedroom place.
O salário médio em Portugal é cerca de 1.300 euros, não 1.800, mas isso é apenas mais um facto em que este vídeo não acertou.
Many economists recommend setting aside 30% of your income towards housing, and in Portugal, most residents are having to put close to double this towards their monthly rent and mortgages. Housing has become so unaffordable to most Portuguese residents that the country now ranks third to last in the world in a house price to income ratio, just ahead of New Zealand and the Czech Republic.
Pelo menos estamos em terceiro lugar em alguma coisa. Isso é bom. Não estamos sempre em último em tudo.
With all this in mind, Portugal now has one of the fastest declining populations in Europe. This trend is projected to only continue, where by 2100, Portugal's population is expected to nearly cut in half. With these scary economic numbers in one of Europe's most beautiful countries,
Obrigado pelo um dos países mais belos da Europa. Mas para onde vai esta gente toda? Metade dos portugueses vai desaparecer até 2100? Para onde? Para onde é que eles vão? Não vão? Fiquem cá? Uau! Mas é impressionante. Metade da população portuguesa vai desaparecer em 2100. Espero que não, mas quando chegarmos a 2100 eu depois faço outro vídeo e vamos analisar os números e vemo-nos em 2100, ok? Conto convosco.
Probably wondering what exactly went wrong to send
E o que são estas fissuras no território? Os pontos de interrogação no norte? Pronto, isso nós sabemos o que é. Aqui nós vivemos no norte de Portugal, olhamos para cima e vemos os pontos de interrogação. Já estamos habituados. Às vezes há nuvens, outras vezes há pontuação gigante a flutuar no céu. Mas estas fissuras, isto é muito preocupante. Isto realmente é muito preocupante. Algo terrível está a acontecer em Portugal, como diz no título. Podem ser as placas tectónicas, como nós temos um historial de terremotos. Acho que o país se está a desfazer. E isso é horrível.
Portugal into this massive economic down spiral.
E além de o país se estar a desfazer, estamos a projetar ondas. Estamos a projetar estas ondas circulares para a Espanha, para o Atlântico. Acho que algumas vão chegar a Marrocos. Isto é horrível. Eu não sabia que Portugal tinha todos estes problemas. Portugal não deve projetar ondas. Não.
In 2022, when Portugal came out with their new digital nomad visa, this attracted a new crowd. This visa was unique in that it was not available to people already living in a country that was part of the European Union. With this in mind, it seemed like Portugal was looking for people from the Americas to move there and work remotely, rather than other Europeans already close by. The number of digital nomads and remote workers have...
Este é um retrato do nómada digital. Vamos olhar para ele por um segundo. Sim, acho que sim. Cá está o nómada digital. Este nómada digital tem uma caneca com a bandeira da Bretanha. É só um pormenor bonito.
Had dramatically jumped with the pandemic, and now in 2022, Portugal was looking to target this group of remote workers. They weren't just targeting any remote workers, though. The Portuguese government was mainly looking for higher net worth individuals. Another requirement of qualifying for this visa was that you had to be making more than 3,280 euros a month, or 3,635 US dollars. This is already far higher than the average monthly salary in Portugal, which is 1,833 euros a month, or 2,032 US dollars. Given how high the cost of living has become in countries like the United States and England, many entrepreneurs and remote workers became very intrigued by this new opportunity to live in Portugal. During this time, Portugal also targeted cryptocurrency connoisseurs. For years, Portugal...
Parece que esta parte do vídeo vai ser sobre criptomoedas. Eu gosto muito de criptomoedas, é um assunto que me interessa muito e sobre o qual eu sei muito. Por isso, vou ver esta parte do vídeo com muita atenção e espero que vocês também.
Portugal has been seen as one of the most crypto tax-friendly countries in the world, where long-term holders of crypto can avoid paying taxes on their investments by living in this country. Although Portugal implemented a short-term capital gains tax on crypto sales under 1 year of 28%, Portugal's long-term capital gains tax on crypto still remains 0%. Unlike Portugal, most countries like the United States and England tax long-term gains on cryptocurrency. Americans with large cryptocurrency holdings saw this, and many of them applied for Portugal's digital nomad visa in hopes of being able to sell their holdings in Portugal and avoid taxes on their sale. Since this policy has been implemented in 2022, over 2,600 of these digital nomad visas have been issued. Today in 2024, there's estimated to be roughly 16,000 digital nomads in Lisbon alone. Most of these digital nomads come from the countries of the United States, England, and Brazil. The Portuguese government was welcoming these high-earning digital nomads with open arms, but the actual long-term residents of Portugal had a different view. With this rapid influx of higher net worth individuals, this led the overall...
Quando é que isto aconteceu? Quando é que Portugal explodiu numa nuvem de dinheiro? Ainda bem que vi este vídeo, porque aconteceram várias coisas preocupantes em Portugal e eu não fazia ideia.
Cost of living to dramatically increase in a very short time frame. Everything from groceries to restaurants to entertainment and especially rent began increasing in price to tailor towards this new influx of digital nomads with higher salaries. From 2020 to 2023, it's believed that roughly 60,000 Portuguese citizens were forced to leave their homes in Lisbon and move to the more affordable regions of Portugal. It's said that the residents living in the capital of Lisbon have already noticed that you don't hear anything when the national team scores goals anymore. Their massive stadium in the center of the city has already had a massive drop in ticket sales, with the foreigners living in the city and the longtime citizens moving out to the more rural areas of Portugal.
Talvez a seleção portuguesa não tenha marcado muitos golos durante este período e talvez seja por isso que as pessoas não gritam quando a seleção marca golos. E se o número de portugueses na cidade é assim tão baixo, quem está a reparar nisto? São os mesmos estrangeiros que não se interessam pela seleção nacional portuguesa, que estão a reparar que durante os jogos pelos quais não se interessam, a seleção não marca golos, pelos quais também não se interessariam. E quanto ao estádio que está abandonado, eu como adepto do Benfica fico satisfeito por este ser o único estádio de Lisboa, mas a verdade é que há outro estádio grande onde joga o Sporting. Esta parte é completamente mentira, o estádio continua a estar cheio, os dois estádios, tanto o do Sporting quanto o do Benfica, depende do jogo, há jogos que têm mais pessoas, há jogos que têm menos pessoas, mas esta parte é completamente inventada.
Portugal also now has one of the lowest fertility rates across all of Europe, at just 1.35 births for each woman. This is far below the European Union average at 1.53 and well below the actual replacement rate, which is 2.1 births for every woman. At this dramatically low birth rate, this will only contribute to Portugal's inevitable collapse. Low fertility rates typically correlate with a bad economy. When couples barely have enough money to support themselves, they're far less likely to decide to have children.
Isto é clipart alarmante? Faz parte daquele pacote de clipart que vem com o Microsoft Word ou tem de se comprar à parte? Eu estava interessado. Eu estou a gostar muito destes gráficos. Gosto do casal preocupado e das coisas a flutuar, daquele bebê adorável que está ali. Se alguém souber, digam-me. como é que eu posso conseguir este pacote de clipart. Sempre quis tornar os meus vídeos um pouco mais alarmantes e acho que isto talvez ajudasse.
When few children are being born, this lowers the number of available workers in a country, which obviously only hurts a rapid...
Espera. Há menos crianças, portanto há menos trabalhadores disponíveis e calma, os nossos números de trabalho infantil estão muito melhores do que estavam no passado, calma. É verdade que no passado tivemos problemas sérios com o trabalho infantil, mas agora já não. Não precisamos de crianças para trabalhar, ok?
Rapidly declining economy. Not to mention, many of these digital nomads moving to Portugal typically only intend to be here for a few years. Very few of them are moving here with the intentions of starting a family.
Isto é verdade? Vocês vão-se embora? É só... Não é para ficarem? Vocês vêm e depois estão a pensar em ir embora? Não vão ficar aqui connosco? Para sempre?
And bringing new life into the Portuguese economy. In the mid-2010s, short-term vacation rental companies like Airbnb started purchasing many of the homes and apartments in Lisbon. These housing units, owned by Airbnb, typically aren't cheap and almost always house tourists.
Eu não sou um especialista, mas a empresa Airbnb é dona das casas disponíveis no Airbnb.
Rather than the citizens of Portugal. Of Lisbon's 320,000 total dwellings, 48,000 of them are vacant and another 20,000 of them are owned by Airbnb. Putting aside the number of Airbnb units for a moment, this number of vacancies, taking up 15% of the total housing units, is an extremely alarming statistic for any major city.
Sobre esta voz que estamos a ouvir, eu não consigo perceber se isto é uma voz de inteligência artificial ou se é um humano que está a falar neste tom muito alarmante e muito pouco natural. Vocês percebem se é humano ou não?
Now you would think with these disastrous numbers and the country in decline, hopefully Portugal has competent leaders in their government working to get the country back on track. With a combination of Portugal's high tourism levels, prime geographical location, and rich history, you would think a country with these unique opportunities could turn itself around with the right leadership. Well, unfortunately for the Portuguese, their government has had a long history of corruption. In a 2015 Ernst & Young survey, 83% of Portugal residents responded saying they believe there was widespread corruption and bribery within their country's government. Several high-profile politicians have been involved in corruption cases in the past couple of years. One of the most notable figures being former Prime Minister of Portugal, José Sócrates, who was arrested in 2014 on charges of corruption, money laundering, and tax fraud. Jose was the Prime Minister of Portugal from 2005 to 2011 and was found to have a secret 20 million euros stashed in a Swiss bank. Also in 2014, the second largest bank in Portugal, Banco Espírito Santo, completely collapsed, leaving all its clients to dry. This collapse was fueled by its leader Ricardo Salgado using his position as the owner to evade taxes and launder money. Ricardo was released from a Portuguese prison on a €3 million bail and escaped the country shortly after that. A combination of events like these...
Não, ele continua em Portugal, não fugiu para lado nenhum, está ainda a ser julgado e está com um problema de saúde que a defesa está a usar como argumento no julgamento, mas não fugiu para lado nenhum. Mais um exemplo de factos que o vídeo erra completamente.
Have left the Portuguese citizens to have extremely low faith in their government's leadership. With this in mind, its citizens have taken to the streets to protest. These protests have centered around the issues of creating more affordable housing and the desire to increase wages. Just for context, since becoming a democracy in 1970, Portugal has had two dominant political parties.
Portugal tornou-se uma democracia em 1974, não 1970. O que aconteceu foi que o autor do vídeo foi à Wikipedia e viu quando morreu o Salazar, que foi em 1970. O Salazar não governou até morrer e Portugal não se tornou uma democracia depois da morte do Salazar. Portanto, dois erros contidos num único.
There's the more left-wing Socialist Party and then the more right-wing Social Democrats. The Socialist Party has been the dominant force for the past couple decades, outperforming the Social Democratic Party. However, with the recent massive surges of immigration and stagnant wages, the political ideology in Portugal has been shifting right. In fact, in 2019, a new right-wing political party emerged.
Não foram condições recentes que motivaram uma subida da política dos políticos de direita. Desde 1974, a direita e a esquerda têm alternado, portanto, esta mudança não foi provocada por nada recente. Também não sei se Espanha gosta de ser usada apenas como fundo para gráficos. Parece-me um pouco injusto para a Espanha.
Known as the Chega Party.
The Chega.
At its birth in 2019, this party was irrelevant, but just 5 years after its formation, Portugal is looking less and less like a two-party system. In 2022 and in 2024, Portugal had legislative elections across all the country's districts. In the 2022 election, the Socialist Party won the overwhelming majority of seats, 120 of them, followed by the Social Democratic Party gaining 77 seats, and the Chega Party falling far behind with
Chega
just
Party.
12 seats. Fast forward 2 years later to the 2024 legislative election, and there's been a considerable shift. In this election, the Social Democratic Party actually won a slim majority with 80 seats, followed by the Socialists with 78 seats, and a dramatic increase in seats for the Chega Party at 50 total seats. Following this election, the Chega Party leader André Ventura came out saying that it's clear Portugal is no longer a two-party system.
Portugal nunca foi um sistema bipartidário. Os sistemas bipartidários são países como o Reino Unido, os Estados Unidos, e Portugal nunca foi um sistema bipartidário. O facto de haver dois partidos dominantes não quer dizer que seja um sistema bipartidário.
He also argued that the Social Democrats should ally with the Chega Party to create a total majority within the parliament.
Acho que se o Chega conseguisse aliar-se ao Partido Social Democrata, as pessoas não abanariam pequenas bandeiras vermelhas. Talvez não fosse essa a cor das bandeiras.
André Ventura became the leader of the Chega Party by running on the ideas of anti-establishment and national sovereignty.
Não vou dizer nada. Não vou dizer nada.
Ventura has also been advocating for much stricter immigration policies and harsher criminal penalties, including the reintroduction of the death penalty and life sentences. Luis Montenegro, the leader of the Social Democratic Party, has said that if he becomes prime minister, he promises to shut down the Chega Party and will refuse to negotiate with the right-wing policies. Despite the country being in a very poor spot economically, leaders from all three parties say that there's an opportunity.
A pessoa que está mais à esquerda chama-se Carlos César, é um político dos Açores e ele é o presidente do Partido Socialista, mas não é o líder do Partido Socialista. A pessoa que fez o vídeo voltou a ir à Wikipedia, procurou o Partido Socialista e viu lá presidente Carlos César e aqui está ele. O líder do Partido Socialista, na verdade, é o secretário-geral, que agora é um senhor chamado Pedro Nuno Santos. Não é esta pessoa que aqui está, mais um erro.
For a rebound. Being on the western edge of Europe along the Atlantic Ocean, Portugal makes for a natural landing point for the transatlantic cables connecting Europe with North and South America. These cables are fiber optic cables that are placed deep under the ocean. This makes Portugal a crucial part of the global internet backbone, facilitating faster and more reliable data transmission. With this in mind, Portugal has begun investing heavily in state-of-the-art cable landing stations and more recently, data centers. As the internet continues to expand and data on its users becomes even more valuable, data centers become increasingly important for any developed country. Portugal's focus on expanding digital infrastructure can attract global tech companies, which create high-value jobs and can lead to more innovation. With these new digital nomads in mainly Lisbon and Porto, Portugal is becoming a growing hub for tech startups. These new tech startups can help stimulate the economy and create new jobs for low-skilled workers. While Portugal's population is certainly declining, a country that's far bigger than Portugal with even less people is known as Mongolia. In fact, Mongolia is the most sparsely populated country in the world, where there's just 2 people per square kilometer. You can find out why this country is so empty and why it seems like nobody wants to live in Mongolia in this video right here.
Ok, eu estava a tentar perceber qual é a ligação entre Portugal e a Mongólia. Acho que são dois países que não têm absolutamente nada em comum. Nada. Acho que não há nada em comum entre Portugal e a Mongólia. Pronto, foi o vídeo. É tudo muito alarmante, muito... Mas as coisas alarmantes conseguem visualizações no YouTube, e isso é bom para quem faz estes vídeos. E é bom para aquelas pessoas estúpidas que fazem vídeos a reagir a estes vídeos, e essas... Então até à próxima.